ankles. Not all men like crossing their feet at the ankles. It depends on where they are. Are they in a formal environment? Are they in a social environment? A lot of men do like to put their ankles on top of their knees. It makes them feel cool. It makes them look, look decent, but not in a
Also show off their
business
shoes.
setting. Yeah, they want to show off the shoes. Not in a business setting. It looks aggressive, it looks a bit forceful, it looks like, you're trying to create attention. So I would say in a social setting, fair enough. You can feel more relaxed. But if you're in a business setting, cross if you have to cross at the ankles, not necessarily at the knees, ankle over knee. But then again, when it comes to men sitting as well, again, they have to be mindful. We can't be moving our feet back and forth. Pick a position that's comfortable for you. Look like a leader, look assertive. So sometimes men will have both hands or both palms on both knees. That's fine. That's an okay sitting position. Or just as you are seated there, just crossing your hands at the top of your lap. It's fine. It's perfect. You look assertive. You look confident. You look as if, I'd like to do business with you. All right? But even at that, too, men too cannot be seen to have their hands here, there, and everywhere. Maybe for a man, you're holding a pen, you're doing some writing, you're looking active. All right? Sitting is very important. It speaks to the kind of person you are, your character, your leadership traits, okay? We can't see a good leader slouching or sitting inappropriately, or having his hand, like I'm bored, why am I here? You always have to look confident at any point in time.
This is like, okay, he's listening.
Right.
He's thinking maybe what next to say. And so
oh, here, under your chin or here is fine. But when you're like this, and we really see you slanting, it means I really don't want to be here. I'm bored. I want to get out of here. Next thing is going to happen. He's going to doze off. Or she's going to doze off. But sitting is an important part of body language. It's a kind of communication that speaks so much words without saying a single said so much words without saying them out at all. And it speaks to the kind of person that you really are. Sitting is very, very essential. It speaks to your poise, it speaks to your elegance as a woman, it speaks to your leadership characteristics. And that's what I think is very essential. So sitting should not be taken for granted.
A thing so simple.
As simple as that
taken
sounds.
For granted.
So what happens when, because sometimes people tell you, because of my back, I can't sit straight, so I have to... What do you advise?
Depends on where they're seated. If you're in a lounge and there are cushions, always grab one of the cushions to support your back. That's very important. If you're somebody who has back issues. And then if you're someone who has back issues too, sitting on a hard seat is not going to help you at all. You need to be sitting on a seat that is a little bit more comfortable, that probably has a bit of a cushion on it. You know your health risks, your health hazards, but sometimes where you don't have any choice at all, all right? Sitting upright is the best way to, at least support a back that needs support at any point in time. Sometimes you might have to be mindful of the kind of chair you're sitting on. Some chairs have the back that are slanting, and you don't notice it. Before you know it, you're slanting with the chair as well. That's also a bit dangerous. So you need to be mindful of the kind of seat that you're sitting on at any point in time. So we want to catch them while they're young. When you see children that are not sitting properly, you need to correct them. Always tell them to sit upright.
And how often can you do that?
If it's your child, as often as possible, because it's habitual. Most times when people sit with their feet apart or their knees open, it's become a habit. It's something that they haven't cultivated as a lifestyle in terms of, how am I sitting? How do I look when I sit? What perception do I want to leave in the minds of other people? What image am I creating? Because perception really is reality, as they say.
Okay, so now, how would you advise someone to sit in a stadium? A person goes to watch a football game. I mean, a lady goes to watch a football game. It's an open sitting area. So.
Well, okay. This is not the time for poise and elegance at the stadium, because you're literally going to be getting up every minute anyway. But it still
screaming your head off.
It still speaks to making sure that you're sitting in a comfortable position and one that is not awkward as well. It still doesn't mean that because you're in a stadium, you should sit with your whole legs wide apart. It still means conduct yourself in the most appropriate way that doesn't, create any kind of awkwardness for people that are seeing you. In a stadium, of course, it's a more sportive environment. I don't expect you to be wearing a skirt going to the stadium. I expect you to be wearing something more sporty. So when you're wearing something more sporty, you act more sporty, isn't it? So it's not a case of wearing a gown to a gala. So you dress more appropriately for such events.
Yeah. Like this, like some people say in pidgin, small thing like elephant. This sitting business. I mean, who would have thought that this was so important? You know, this little thing about just sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple. Just sit. Apparently, there's ways that you can sit depending on what
and
you're
especially
wearing.
if you're going for a board meeting, for instance, people can tell if you're really there to do business or not. It really depends on how do you sit when you're at a board meeting. Are you attentive? Are you listening? Are you assertive? Are you confident? All of that speaks to whether we really want to do business with you or not.
So where does this thing about I just want to be comfortable come into play?
Of course, no matter how I feel, don't you feel comfortable how you're sitting now?
No, you tell some people, do you mind adjusting your sitting? And they go, please let me be. I just want to be comfortable.
Depends on what you're there for. Are you there to do business? Are you there to relax? Are you there to socialize? Everything speaks to why you're there. And then again, it all speaks to you yourself. What perception do you want to leave in the minds of other people? You're the CEO or the MD of your organization. You can't afford to be, caught unawares or caught, found wanting. You really want to portray that image because people are looking up to you and you want to make sure that you don't damage or sabotage your reputation.
All right. Janet Adetu talking about sitting etiquette. So there's a way to sit. Yeah. Guys, there's a way to sit. Ladies, there's a way to sit.
Even if you're a guy, there's
a way to sit.
Because men always feel, I'm a man, I'm wearing pants, so it doesn't matter. I can just sit and...
Thank you, Janet. Janet Adetu, etiquette coach, talking about sitting. Thank you so much. Sunrise will be back in a moment. Please don't go away.